Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? I'm Dave the NASCAR guy, and I'm back on this YouTube thing, except I'm on the MaglerFan26 channel now. So anyways, I'm here to react to some recent NASCAR news. So let's begin with the unveiling of the 2019 Ford Mustang NASCAR Cup Series car. It started off with this, a teaser released by Ford Performance earlier this year. Now, as a huge Ford guy, as you can see right here, I was really excited to hear about this news. And then, just a few days ago, the car was unveiled outside of Michigan International Speedway. Now let's begin by taking a look at the car itself. As you can see, it's obviously a Mustang, and in my opinion, it looks very nice. However, I personally have one big problem with this. Now this body style is based off of the 2015 Mustang before the 2018 facelift. Now why would that be a problem? Probably because the 2015 Mustang before the 2018 facelift is discontinued. Now one could argue, based on this picture and the unveiling event, that the car is based on the Shelby GT350. It would make sense. Look at Chevrolet. They used the Camaro ZL1, which is the top tier performance level of Camaro for the Cup Series. And similarly, Ford would use the GT350, which is currently the top tier performance Mustang. Okay, fair point. But then, explain this. First off, why would they use the grille off of a Mustang GT? And why would they use the Mustang GT deck lid that clearly says GT right there on it? It just doesn't make sense. Think about it. The 2018 Plus Mustang is used in Formula D. It's Ford's current funny car body for the National Hot Rod Association. It's even used in the Xfinity series, for crying out loud. But I'm not going to really bash on this car too much. I mean, look at it. That's a nice looking car. Now, as some of you may know, Ford decided to discontinue almost every sedan and overall car in their lineup, minus the new electric Focus and the Mustang. So, after 2018, the Fusion would be a discontinued body style, and it wouldn't be made at all anymore. So it kinda makes sense. And look at the Mustang. It's been an icon of car culture ever since it came out in 1964. So bringing it to NASCAR would obviously at least attract a little bit more fans, which would help publicity on both Ford's side and NASCAR's side. It's a mutual benefit. And every NASCAR fan will tell you that compacts do not race in NASCAR, and they never have. So the Focus is almost always out of consideration, which leaves only the Mustang. Now, how will the car perform next year when it debuts? It'll be quite interesting. If you look at the Camaro ZL1, you will see that Chevrolet teams have been struggling this year overall. They only have 2 wins so far, with Austin Dillon at Daytona and recently Chase Elliott at Watkins Glen. And overall, they've been struggling a lot this year. Now many would say, since it's a new body style, Ford drivers would have a similar fate next year where they struggle to win a lot since they're getting used to the car. But, at least from what I've heard, the Mustang body style is very similar to the Fusion body style, which would mean it would likely be an easier time for the Ford drivers to get used to the new body. On the other hand, the Camaro ZL1 body was radically different from the Supersport body that was used since 2013. Honestly, who knows? Okay, now that we got that discussed, let's talk about some other NASCAR news that's been popping up recently. Bill Elliott is returning to NASCAR for a one-off Xfinity race. He will be driving the number 23 Camaro for GMS Racing in the Xfinity Series at Road America. Normally, the number 23 in the Xfinity Series is driven by Spencer Gallagher, except for when he, had that little drug test incident, but I prefer not to talk about that. Now, my best guess is that Awesome Bill from Dawsonville is there basically as a road course ringer. Now, road course racing has always been a completely different beast than traditional NASCAR oval racing. It's allowed many underdogs to let their true skills shine and win the race while not meaning much else, such as AJ Allmendinger's Watkins Glenwood in 2014, as well as Marcus Ambrose and Juan Pablo Montoya, both winning their 2 wins at road courses. But how will he perform in the race? Now, on one hand, Elliott is 62 years old and hasn't raced in a while. On the other hand, his first win in the Cup Series came on a road course, and he also has one Xfinity win at a road course. So, who knows, really? And now, I'm going to give my opinion on how the 2018 season is going so far. It's quite obvious. The big three are dominating right now. Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr. They are just winning almost every race. Harvick 7 wins, Busch 6 wins, Truex 4 or 5, I believe. I can't remember the exact number, but the point is, they are just stealing it right now. But there is hope for NASCAR ratings, I'd say. And I say because of this. You look at Chase Elliott and Eric Jones. They both got their first wins recently. Now, these young guys, Elliott, Jones, Blaney, all of them, they are the future of the sport. So we need them to perform well, which they have been recently. Like I said, what's his name? Sorry about that. Elliott and Jones both got their first wins recently. Elliott replaced Jeff Gordon, and now you got Jones replacing Matt Kenseth at Joe Gibbs, although Kenseth is back in the 6th, but he's not performing super well. And then you look at Ryan Blaney, he's been having some good runs too. Alex Bowman's been having some good runs recently. He got 3rd at Pocono. William Byron has got a good run at Watkins Glen. He was in the top 10. Now, look at Hendrick Motorsports and Chevrolet as a whole. Their first win was at Daytona, and then they did not get another win for the entire rest of the season until just recently at Watkins Glen. And so, are they going to come back as a threat? I wouldn't say just yet. I mean, yeah, Elliott got a win, but that's because you look at Kyle Busch in that race, he had some engine problems and he was ultimately taken out. And you look at Truex, he ran out of gas before he could catch Elliott at the last corner. And you would think, okay, well, let's look at Larson. He got at least, 3 or 4 wins last year? This year, he's still got none. And in my opinion, he's still the top Chevrolet contender, even though he doesn't have a win yet, with Elliott at a close second. And just look at Hendrick as a whole. Jimmy Johnson, no wins. Alex Bowman, no wins. William Byron, no wins. Chase Elliott, 1 win. And then look at Richard Childress. Yeah, you got Austin Dillon winning Daytona. That's it. Yeah, they won a few races last year, but that was with the Supersport body style. Let's face it, Newman has been struggling. But many people complain about, going back to the big three here, the big three. Me personally, being a fan of all the Haas cars and the Penske cars, it doesn't bother me that much, because at the ultimate end of things, I'm a Ford guy, like I said before. And so, with Harvick winning, being in a Ford, makes me happy because Ford's finally getting some success. They've been struggling these past few years. Even though Harvick and Keselowski got in the Final Four last year, they've still been struggling overall due to Toyota domination mainly. And even then, 2 out of the big 3 are still Toyotas. None are Chevrolets right now. I can't imagine how many it would kill to have Truex or Busch or Harvick back in a Chevrolet. And then, one last thing I want to talk about is my picks for Bristol this weekend. So obviously you've got the big 3, they likely have a shot. But I want to talk about who else could win. Joey Logano, he won the Bristol Night Race 2015, I think it was. Eric Jones, he got the pole for the Bristol Night Race last year, and he's overall a really good short track racer. Elliott, same thing, he's really good at short tracks. Bristol was not one of his most successful, but if you look at his short track record overall, he's got a really good one, including multiple second place finishes, especially at Dover. Let's see, who else? Keselowski could win. He's got a few Bristol wins, but not many. But overall, I feel like it might be Kyle Busch this weekend. He's won at Bristol many, many times, including just last year. So who knows, really? And overall, that was my video for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all later.